Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, we have got to talk about the fact the NFL might be hiring replacement refs again. Yes, if you remember Hail Mary in 2012, what a disaster that was. But the NFL Referees Association, NFLRA, their contract expires with the NFL at the end of May. I'm going to go over what's going on with that in the video, what issues they disagree on, and what the NFL is trying to do to prevent Hail Mary 2.0. But first, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notification so you never miss one of my videos. And share this with anyone who loves football. I cover all 32 teams on this channel. Okay, so why can't they come to an agreement? Well, first of all, the NFL wants the underperforming refs to have to basically go to school. There's a spring leagues, I guess. I'm not sure what the spring leagues are. But anyway, the underperforming officials, according to the NFL's grading system, would have to go to the spring leagues and try to improve their officiating. The refs obviously do not want that. Personally, I would just fire the underperforming refs, but they have not done that. But I absolutely agree with that. The refs say, no way we're doing that. Another issue is ending seniority for playoff assignments. Basically, the NFL wants the best officials in the playoffs regardless of seniority. I honestly thought that's the way they did it. I didn't know seniority played a role in what officials are selected in the postseason. Shouldn't we get the best officiating? I know baseball has seniority because somehow C.B. Buckner does at least one playoff series each time, which is insane. He's the worst umpire in baseball. Once again, I agree with the NFL on this. If you've been an official, whether it's a referee, back judge, line judge, whatever, for 15 years, and you're in the middle of the pack as far as grade-wise, you shouldn't do a postseason game just because you've been there 15 years. The best officials should do the postseason games. I thought that's the way they already did it. Even if you're a rookie umpire, a rookie line judge, you should do the postseason if you graded the best. So once again, I agree with the NFL. Here's another thing the refs want. So the NFL offered a 6-year deal with a 5% increase in pay each year. Sounds reasonable, right? I've gotten raises before. That's pretty standard, I think, no matter how much money you make. Well, the refs want 10% each year, plus $2.5 million in marketing fees, whatever that means. 10% raise. So if you make $60,000 a year, for example, that would be $66,000. I've never gotten a raise that big. Let me know in the comments if you have, but 5% seems pretty standard. The refs' argument is probably the league is growing, and almost every year it grows by more than 5%, so we should get a piece of that pie. I get that, but what if revenue does go down? We saw what happened when Kaepernick sat for the anthem and all those players kneeled after what the president said, and that was a mess. It took the NFL 2 or 3 years to get back to where they were. So what if something like that happens and the revenue goes down? Look, I'm not defending all these billionaires. Don't get me wrong. I'm not pro-billionaire. If you know me, I'm definitely not. But I think that's pretty reasonable, and I do not know what $2.5 million in marketing fees are. Let me know what you think that is in the comments. I can think of two possibilities. Maybe it's like a PR campaign to make you feel better about the refs. They're doing a better job than they are. Or maybe recruiting. I have no idea. But the NFL apparently said, no, that's ridiculous to the $2.5 million. So once again, I tend to agree with the NFL. And let's be honest. An officiating job is part-time. It's not a full-time job. Most of these guys have Monday through Friday jobs, either like they're teachers or they're attorneys or whatever. And Scott Green, who's the executive director of the NFLRA, he says they're underpaid, the refs, and they don't get good enough benefits. It's a part-time job. Underpaid, maybe they are. I don't know what they make. But most part-time jobs, you don't get benefits at all. So it just seems like to me, this is not unreasonable. Now, might be some things I don't know about. I know it's really tough to be official. It's a tough job, okay? But the problem I have with them is it gets worse every year. And it seems to me that each game where it's poorly officiated, the crew favors one team. And you can guess some of the teams that get favored. I'm not going to go over that in this video. But that's the problem I have with it. You're a part-time employee and you have not done a good job. It's getting worse. And you won't agree to work in the spring leagues to get better. You won't agree to any of this. You're just like, we can be incompetent, we can be bad, and we should still just keep our job. And once again, it's part-time. So what kind of benefits exactly are you asking for? Once again, I'm not defending billionaires. I just feel like the refs are like, the NFL makes so much money. Give us more. Give us more. But I'll say this to all the officials out there. No one watches the game for you. We watch for the players. We watch for our teams. No one watches for the officiating. And clearly NFL doesn't want Fail Mary 2.0. If you did not know, in 2012 season, the Packers won on a last-second Hail Mary. They intercepted. And the Seahawks player, as he was on the ground, reached in and grabbed the ball. So it was like a tie. And one of the replacement officials signaled interception, touchback, which was correct, the one closest to it. The other guy walked up to it, saw that the Seahawks guy had some part of the ball and signaled touchdown. And for some reason, the official that was furthest away from the ball, of the two of them, they went with that call on the field, and then replay didn't overturn it. That was the biggest problem, Fail Mary. No one talks about that. They talk about the older high school official. And by the way, NFL, why did you hire a high school official anyway? The problem was replay should have overturned it. That was my biggest problem with it. I'm a Packer fan. I was livid. I still am. And it cost the Packers a home playoff game. That one game flipped it where they had to go on the road. They had a really talented team that year, but they lost that road playoff game. So it possibly hurt a playoff run in that season. Now, the only leverage the referees have is what happened in that game. Look at the Fail Mary. NFL, you don't want that to happen again, so give us what we want. That's the only leverage they have. But the NFL understands that, and they're taking measures. By the competition committee, for 1 year only, this is a new rule, they're allowing the NFL officiating department to correct clear and obvious misses made by on-field officials that impact the game in the event there is a work stoppage involving the game officials represented by the NFL Referees Association. Thank God. Doesn't mean they're going to overturn every call they should, but it would very likely prevent a Fail Mary again. I hope so. So at least they're taking steps. And once again, it was a high school official that made that call. I still have no idea why the NFL would hire a high school official. But it seems like to me they're only hiring college ones this time. But one thing that no one is talking about, well, hardly anyone's even talking about this at all. That's why I'm making a video. But this will hurt college football, probably more than the NFL, because they have that replay that can correct these calls. But college football could lose some of their best referees. Maybe the Big Ten and SEC can give their referees raises and we can keep them. But they could take the best officials from Division 1, 2, and 3. It's not like the NFL is going to hire the worst. I'm sure they have people in the league office reviewing who's the best out there in college. They're going to only hire the best, and they can probably pay more. So college football is going to lose some really good officials. And then if these replacement officials are very good, they might be able to stay in the NFL. And this is what the NFL should absolutely do, is take the 5 to 10 best replacement officials, give them permanent NFL jobs, and fire the 5 to 10 worst from last year. I doubt they do it, but that is absolutely what the NFL should do. And I think the NFL has the leverage here. They've already started to hire college referees as replacements. They have all summer to learn the rules, and they're getting ahead of the work stoppage. So let me know in the comments, who do you think has the leverage? Do you agree with me? Do you think the NFL is more in the right? Am I missing something that the referees aren't getting? If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe, share this. Anyone who loves the NFL draft, lots of draft content coming on my channel. Me and Mike, we do the Lights Out podcast every Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Link in the description. Check out these videos if you have not, and I'll see you in the next one.